On today's Banzai Bits, it's that time again, and welcome back, listeners, to another segment of Banzai Bits. I am your host, Ryan, and for this episode, my codename will be Trainwreck. And this is a smaller podcast in between our bigger talks over on Banzai Chat. This is where I like to dive into my thoughts on video games, movies, and other pop culture. And ooh-wee, am I excited to steal your heart in this high-octane episode on Persona 5.
Persona!
So let's step into the podcast palace and unleash our true form to the stylish hit game that is Persona 5. It's showtime. Now you might be asking yourself, why start with Persona 5, Ryan? Well, dear listener, it's plain and simple. It's the only one I finished.
For real?
Yeah, I know. So many games, so little time. But the Persona games are all special in their own ways, and that's why it's great, because you can dive into each of them and get a whole new experience out of each game. If you are new to the Persona series and have no idea what I'm saying, the Persona games are a JRPG developed by Atlus that focuses on young adults in their school life, mixed with problems in society, power-hungry assholes, demons, and sometimes Hitler. Yes, that's very true. You heard me right. It's a very popular series over in Japan and has been growing throughout the gaming community ever since. Persona 5 is no different, coming out at the tail end of PS3, making its way on the PS4 as well. The game was a huge hit and continued to keep fans engaged with its other versions like Persona 5 Royal and its sequel spinoff, Persona 5 Strikers. The Persona games really have a unique way of telling a story, by not just making a whole new game, but by adding and subtracting to games with new story beats, characters, and even overall gameplay. Some might think Atlus is just milking money for the consumer, which, for a sucker like me, is most likely true. It's still impressive how they take big chances with their games by building off a foundation that fans really enjoy. If I could say Persona 5's story in a nutshell, the story goes, you are a blank slate character that starts off in Japan, just like normal JRPGs do, getting falsely charged with assault as you are trying to protect a woman from a drunken asshole. That, of course, has more power than he obviously should. While being on probation and trying not to get any more trouble and to clear your name, you end up meeting a talking cat and learning about the metaverse. And soon you awaken your powers of Persona, kind of like your JoJo Stan type deal, and find out you have the power to change people's hearts who are doing more harm than good in the world. So now with your team of Phantom Thieves who've realized their true forms as well, you are set out to put a stop to these two-faced villains walking around in the world in plain sight. The mix of dealing with normal school life while building relationships with other confidants to fighting demons in the metaverse with the most questionable designs. I mean, look up Mara if you want an example of this. What the fuck is that? With not your so average turn-based battle system, trying to find your enemy's weakness by combining with your teammates' attacks and show-stopping finishers, to also trying to negotiate with your encounters to see if they want to join your side, if they're feeling up to it or not. Persona 5 is just loads of things to do and see, which is another reason why these games are going to take a little bit more time as well. But have no fear, because you will have some of the most fun and groovy music to lead you along your way. With composer Shoji Meguro at the helm, who's been creating all the Persona music for Atlus since 1995, he's a true master of bringing all types of music from rock, electronic, jazz, classical, and even J-pop. while blending it all into the game for a truly more enjoyable experience. Just when you thought the music couldn't get any better, Meguro added the very talented Lyn Inaizumi to sing the game's big hit singles. With her powerful, soul-filled voice, she added a whole new element to the Persona 5 game that I will always remember. From the battle theme Last Surprise, which you'd think after hearing for the 100th time would get old, but like a fine wine, it only gets better each time.
Steps ahead, yeah. So you step into my way, stand down. It's a trap, one step, and you're there.
To its wonderful opening sequence, Wake Up, Get Out There. That alone is worth watching, even if you don't want to play the game. Then again, how could you not after that?
Oh, it's useless. What could it mean the way, yeah? What does it all mean? Can we make a difference? Really make a difference. If we don't break out of here, wake up, get up there. Raise your voice, I guess, like yours. Feed your anger like fire. Why does nobody want change?
A word often brought up in any Persona game is style. It's overflowing with style in so many ways, from its black and red colors that give it signature look, to the way it's given the both versions of the real world that you play around in, to the dark and more mysterious look of the metaverse. It might just be my old bones that eat up this cheesy anime RPG bullshit, but Persona 5 does hit some pretty intense narrative points that you wouldn't expect from face value. And with a very strong cast of characters, big and small, it's really hard not to love them in their own way. Shout out to my queen and Johanna. I might have came into the Persona series a bit later than most people, and I do hope to go back at some of the older games. It's safe to say that Persona 5 won't be the last surprise in this gaming series. I just really wanted to say how this game has stolen my heart in so many ways. I guess you could say, I never saw it coming.
Are you ready?
And that's it for today's Banzai Bits. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that good stuff below, and check out banzaichat.com for more ways you can support the podcast. I've been your host, Ryan, and I'll catch you all next time.